Were you aware you could make a block from a continuous design? Or make a continuous design from a block? How about putting a block inside another block, like a square peg in a round hole? I'm Susan Anderson, and this is Susan So Creative, where it's only wrong when it doesn't work. Today, I'm going to play with blocks in prostitcher.
Enough with housekeeping. I'm ready to start playing. Let's create a new design from a design we already have. We're going to go to Design, click Open, and I'm going to go to PC Design 1 and Continuous. And I'm going to select a continuous design, and we're going to make a block out of it that will match. There it is, triangle loops. Click Open. All right, this is a basic design. It's great for a border. But say we want to have a block that will match it. So here's how we do that. Our start is on the left and our end is to the right. So we're going to go ahead and click Edit. We're going to copy. We're going to paste. Still the same place. So it looks like it's there, but it's not. If I actually take this off, you'll be able to see we've got a second design. I'm now going to go to Modify. I'm going to click on Rotate. We're going to flip our design, and I can flip it, mirror it the other direction, but it looks the same. But what it does do is move my starting position to the right-hand side. I'm now going to match up this point to this point by going to Reposition and choose End Point, and it matches it perfectly. So now, there we go. You can see the entire design. I'm going to baseline this. We're going to select the whole project, baseline it again. And if I go to prostitcher, quilt, and run, you can see where this is basically going to trace off the entire design. This is how you prove that you've made a complete design and that nothing is missing or out of the way, and it's completely joined as one pattern. So we've just made a whole new design. Fantastic. So we're going to go to File, Save, Selected, and we're going to move that down to our new folder. All the way down here called 1. And I'm going to save this. Now I can save this as new block. So we're going to delete all of this. And just type in new block. ELOCK. So I have now a new design. Let's make a new continuous line from an existing continuous line. So we're going to go to Design, Open. I'm going to go to Continuous Lines, and I'm going to go down here. This is one of my favorite designs. I just think this is the cutest thing. It's flower pots, and it's 3 little flower pots, and this is terrific. I like it as a design in itself, but sometimes you don't want something quite this large. Say I just want the original one in the center. Now I've turned on my background onto View, and I've gone in to make sure that you can see the grid that is right here in the corner. Turn that on. This is going to help me align my straight lines for my continuous line in this particular case. So now that we've got that, we're going to go to Modify, and I'm going to go to move my cursor or my head over, still keeping it on that same center line across the bottom. And I'm going to go to prostitcher, New Start, New End, and click on New Start. And it's moved my design or my starting point to just the left of my center pot. Now I want to go and move, whoops, got to drop that. And to drop that, we're just going to touch that again. move my center line over to the far right position, somewhere on that line. Now I could move it here because that's where it crosses as well, but it's awfully close. So what I'd rather do is move it out to here. And we're going to go ahead to end at that point. Now you can zoom in so we can see exactly where we are on the line. Do I want to keep that extra little loop there? I think I'll go ahead and let it go. All right. We're going to go back to our full design. And I'm now going to go to prostitcher, and we're going to go to modify. We're going to go to crop. And I'm going to crop the start and the end. This is going to eliminate everything outside those 2 points we just created. And I now just have my center design. I'm going to baseline that. I'm going to file, save as, select it. And we're going to drop it back down to our one folder again, where we have our new designs going. And I'm going to save that. Flower pots, continuous line. Let's change that to one flower pot. Then we'll go up here and we'll go one flower pot, continuous line. Save. Okay. Now, if I go back to repeat here, I'm ready to do my repeats and I've got a whole new border design. Let's do one more, but this one is going to be the opposite direction. This time we'll start with a block. Go to design, open, and I'm going to scroll down here and find this fun little block. Here we go, the curly line block. Click open, and there's my design. Now here's my start and stop bar. I'm going to go to prostitcher, new start, new end. I'm going to do my select because remember I'm using the simulator on my laptop. So I'm going to slide all the way over to the far left and click auto start over there. Pick it up, go over here, auto end. We're going to go to modify, crop, and crop the art and end. And I now have a design. Go to baseline, file, save the design, save selected, and we're going to save it to our one folder that we started with at the beginning of the seminar. All the way down here to one. There it is. And I've saved it right here. So we've got that curly line block saved. Now we can go ahead and go back to repeat, and I can do multiple repeats. And I've got a whole new border created from a block.
Okay, let's make a block from scratch using designs that are already in prostitcher. Now this would be considered a custom block. Now we're not going to pre-motion anything. This is working with strictly designs that have already been completed. I'm going to go to design. I'm going to go to open. And I'm going to go all the way down here just so you can see I'm under PC designs and blocks. That's what came up. I want to go to continuous line. And we're going to start with one that we've already worked with. And we created a block with it earlier. But let's try something else with this same design. And you could do this with any of the continuous lines. They would all work. I don't think triangle maze would work, but any of these continuous lines would do the same thing. I'm going to choose triangle loops again. Click open. There's one design. I don't need to do anything more to it. It's perfect the way it is. All we're going to do is go up to my repeat tab. And I'm going to go over here and just highlight the one and type in the number 3 and hit enter. And I have 3 repeats. Okay, I'm going to baseline this because I plan on rotating the design after I copy and paste it. So we're going to baseline this to hold it all together. If I don't, well, before I do, let's show you what happens. If I don't baseline this and I now want to go to modify and I want to rotate this so I can get the vertical bar around here to do the next side of my block, if I just rotate 45, look what happens. It rotates each design individually. I want to create a new design, making all 3 of those blocks as one part of the design. So in order to do that, I have to go back. Okay, and we're going to do repeat again. because it doesn't line it up. So we'll just go ahead and put 3 in there. Whoops, not 13. I want 3. There we are. And back to full screen. Okay, so here's my 3. Now we're going to baseline it. I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to copy this because I don't need to do it again. I've already got it done, right? And we're going to paste it. Now the design is just going to blink. You can't see that there's another one there because it's right on top of it. But that second one is highlighted, the first one is not. We're going to go to modify. I'm going to go to rotate, and I'm just going to rotate 45, 45. It works pretty easy, doesn't it? That give you a better screen there. Okay, my start is right where I needed to be at the top end because I started here, boom, boom, ends over here. So now we're going to reposition this one. Real easy, just slide it into place. And I'm going to zoom in to make sure that I've got it in the right point. And I don't quite there, but we're going to get it there. It's easy enough. Right like so. There we are. Okay. Full screen again. Okay, so I've got my left side and my right side. Now, yeah, I could probably collect and do the whole thing as one and then copy and paste it. Or you could continue with the other one. If I do that, if I do the whole thing, let's try both ways. Here's my whole design here. I'm going to baseline this because we've added to it. And now we're going to go back to edit and let's copy and we'll paste it. Okay. Now we'll go to modify and we will mirror the design. And I will flip the design. And that gives me my end at the correct point here and my start at the correct point over here. One continuous design. Now I've not moved my crosshair, all right, or my needle position. I've not changed that. So that's at the beginning of this first row. So in order to realign this, we can go back into reposition. And I'm just going to go to the end point to my crosshair and look what happens. It lines it up perfectly. Now to double check that, okay, I only have the one start and stop. I don't have any other red or green dots anywhere in the design except right here at the point. Now if you want to go through one more time and see, make sure that it is correct, you could go through prostitcher, turn off the quilt, turn off the stitch, okay, and just go ahead and do a run and let it go walk through all the way to designs that you'll see how it completely stitches the design out in one process. Okay, what I've done is I've just backed out of the design so we get back to where we had just pasted in our second side. If I were going to do each side individually, and sometimes you may have to do that depending upon how the design is constructed, it may not work out the way we did it the first time where we put 2 together and pasted the second half and it worked fine. They may not always do that. So if they don't, here's the other way to go about it. So I've already got this copied and pasted once. I'm just going to go into edit and we're going to paste again. All right. It comes off the other side, which is not where we want it to be. So we're going to go ahead and modify this. And I'm going to reposition or actually rotate it. And I'm just going to rotate it again and again and again and again. You could do the flip too. It's entirely up to you. It's just that sometimes some designs don't quite work out the way you want them to work out each time. So now I could, since I've got my crosshair down here, I could go ahead and go to reposition and go to the start point to my crosshair and get that done. Now, if I don't want to do that, or if I already have my crosshair left at the top, we'll still go back through the way we did before. Let's paste one more side. Okay, it's going to come back into that place again, which we don't want it, but that's all right. We're going to now modify this one, or reposition it, and we'll just go to, rotate it. 1, 2, and it's already in the correct position, so all I have to do is just move it to where it needs to be, and I'm going to
use my little magnifier here and get myself lined up properly. And right like so. There we go. It's pretty easy to get them lined up. Don't be too concerned about it. You're not having it exactly. It seems to pick it up without too much trouble. If you want, you could turn on the grid to make it a little easier for you to follow. That way you'd be sure or make it a little easier to find out which line you were lining up with. So you do have that as an option too. Don't forget that that's also available. So let's go ahead and select the whole thing and see if I've got, nope, I've got the one red and green. I don't have any other dots. And that's how we would do the entire border without doing just the 2 copy and paste. So you have either ways to go. But remember, sometimes one direction or one process will not work exactly the way the previous one did, simply because of the way the designs are stitched out. What I'm going to do now is finish the inside of my block, and to do that I need to make up an area because the block I want to put in there is not going to fit this exact block size. So we're going to go to area. I'm going to select 2 corner, back over here to my cursor, and we're going to go back over down here and put it right there and do my 2 corner again. That gives me my area. I'm going to go to File, Design. Now I could choose my history, but I want to show you where I found it. So we're going to go all the way back down to prostitcher, Designs, go to Blocks, and I happen to like the little windmill block. This really turns out pretty. There it is, windmill. And open. You can see where it is. It's much smaller than the design where I need it. So we're just going to go to Modify, Skew, Border Skew, and I'm going to baseline this again, go to Area, and we're going to clear the area, select the entire design area, and I have my block, and I'm ready to go ahead and save that, and I can use that on any quilt I want. Isn't that pretty the way that turned out? I really like that block.
I hope you picked up some ideas and inspiration from today's video. Just remember, it's only wrong when it doesn't work. I'm Susan Anderson, and thanks for watching.